Hey, everybody, welcome to Slamfire Radio, episode 444 for February 24th. Lots of fours, 2022. I'm your host, Kelly.
I am another host, Kyle.
And I'm another host, Mo.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello.
It's been a long time since I've seen you.
Yeah. Couple weeks.
Yeah, it's been crazy busy. How about you guys? You been busy?
Yeah.
My keyword there was crazy. I think I'm officially certifiable. So
certifiable.
If you've met me before, you probably would agree with that. So, anyways, it's been busy. So I love the fact that I was able to come on tonight and talk to our guest as well. But it's so nice to see you guys too. So, anyways, why don't we get into what we did in guns this week? And what we did in guns this week is brought to you by the Calgary Shooting Center. It's Canada's premier firearms retailer. We didn't put anything in there. I didn't have time. So one of the things that you should actually do is Lady Guns. Lady Guns is they're friends of the show. They've been on the show before, but also not only for Lady Guns, but they've been on for She Shoots podcast as well. They're having Ladies' Days there again, and I think they're having one tonight. So
nice.
Drop on by the Calgary Shooting Center. The guys over there are super fantastic. By the way, the indoor ranges are pretty awesome. I've shot there, and they're super helpful. So go on over there, check that out. Anyways, I thought I'd throw that in since we didn't pull anything up. What do you think?
Fair enough. Yeah.
All right. So let's get into what we did in guns this week. It's Kyle's turn. Why don't we start with you, Kyle?
Okay, well, I finished testing the Gersan. Got that out on Saturday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
How'd that
go? It went okay. I ran about 20 rounds of buckshot through it to try and loosen it up. It seemed like it loosened up a little bit, but not quite where I wanted it. So, but Buddy picked it up over the week, or picked it up yesterday, actually. So he's back in Edmonton, got it back home. So told him something he could try, but he usually shoots ounce and eighth anyways, so it's going to be no problem. Yeah. But I did video. I gotta get that together and probably post it on the Slamfire YouTube page this weekend.
Awesome.
So with go through all the testing and my final thoughts on the shotgun.
Okay. So are you just do it right now? Thumbs up, thumbs down, what you thought? That's the summary.
I think it's viable. Yeah.
Okay. So it's a thumbs up.
I think it's viable. It doesn't quite shoot the rounds I want it to, but I think it's still viable. Absolutely.
As a shotgun.
As a three gun shotgun.
Yeah. It'll play.
It'll play. Yeah.
All right. Okay. What else are you doing?
I ended up getting a new 3D printer because my old one was crap, and I got a good deal on a new one. So I was 3D printing up a storm since Sunday. I don't think it's really had much of a break since then.
Okay. So what are you doing?
Well, revisited an old design from years ago where I was trying to make stage savers.
Okay.
So I printed this. This is my original design.
I have to ask.
Breaking. Okay.
And the reason I have to ask is because Adriel knew this guy. It was a couple years ago. And he knew this guy that was 3D printing match savers. And he thought they were really cool. And he was somebody that was, he knew from 3-gun. Did he get match savers from you?
I don't know. I didn't. The match savers I ended up selling people were handmade from Delaware and Rod.
No.
So they were
3D printed. Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't really giving them out. I was testing them a bit and couldn't actually get them working right. So.
Okay. So no, it wasn't you.
No, I don't think it was. No.
Right.
So that was my original design. I'm going to try it out, but then I printed another design here. But this one I got to downsize because it's a little loose. But it would be anti-rotation because it's got 2 holes to mount.
Okay.
So yeah, playing with that, and on the TPU filament, I was told that might be viable, so I'm actually looking to get some TPU to try. This is PLA Plus. The other stuff I was using before was PLA, and the PLA Plus is supposed to be stronger, but I definitely intend to get some TPU and play around with that. Played around, made a stand for pistol, so I can set it on the bench. And actually, that's just come off the print today, and I was testing it out, and it's pretty good because Glock 48 works.
So this could be a viable option for Adriel in his man cave.
That's my thinking. I'm gonna work on even a wall mount style instead of just the desk, a wall mount style, but 226.
Look at that.
Sweet, that works.
And then even your full size Glocks and 2011s. So
sweet.
Yeah.
So how many did you print?
I just printed this today. There's another one of these on the printer printing right now. Okay. Actually,
how much are you charging for them?
I don't know what I should charge for them. You're talking about
them right now, and people are going to want them.
Yeah, I got to figure out what is a reasonable rate.
Okay.
I might change up the design to make it more aesthetic than just a block and a post, but
$129.99.
Yeah. But another thing I printed, which I'm excited about.
Okay. Oh, you already have
a grip
interested.
For my AR.
Sweet.
Yeah.
For your AR.
Well, it's an AR style grip. That's on my WK. Yes. So I'm gonna play around with a few designs on this, and as I don't like the finger grooves, so I'll smooth those out and play around with the design. But that was the first one. I'm gonna try it out, and it's just really nice to actually have a 3D printer that can actually print now.
Awesome. Okay. So Jared says he wants a few, so just to let you know.
Okay.
He's a friend of the show.
Yes, nice he's on here quite often. Yeah.
Okay.
I message me on Facebook, Jared, and we'll work something out.
Awesome.
And then other than that, besides playing around with my 3D printer, I got another shotgun to do on the bench, a 1301. So I was working on the load port on that, and then anxiously awaiting Mo's M2 SP to do some stuff on that.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there might be even a stage saver or something on that. Well, SP's red, so yeah, I can do a red one for you once I get something fitting nice.
Aw, look at that.
So
I'm excited.
Okay.
Yeah, other than that, that's basically it for me, besides just anxiously waiting to get down to the States and get everything squared away.
Yeah.
Oh,
Isn't it exciting when you can think about actually going down to the States for matches now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Want to go to Mo next?
Yeah.
Mo.
Awesome.
So I went to the RA Center match in Ottawa, and I actually met Jarrett there. Great guy, actually.
He has
lots of fun and stuff. So it was good to shoot with him. He was in my squad. It was a fun match. They do such a great job. It was my second time there. Lots of movement, like going backwards and stuff. So 5 good stages. I was really happy with it. It was interesting driving to Ottawa that day. Like obviously the route took us out of the
downtown core.
Yes, and the closed down areas. And we saw some police presence. I saw some police presence, but not too much. But
so you didn't get arrested, in other words?
No.
Oh, well.
I didn't honk any horns. I didn't. I mean, I'm like traveling with a gun. I'm not trying to draw attention to myself.
Oh, that's probably a good idea.
No, right?
Please don't do that. I don't need you to pull over on the side of the road. And then there's this big thing.
Why did you come here with a gun? I'm going to a match. A what? at the community center, and they'll be like, "Excuse me."
Yeah.
And here I was gonna say, better luck next time.
Yeah.
Well.
Anyways. And then so that was a lot of fun. I'll definitely go back. I think their next match is in April.
Okay.
And they don't do too many, just but they're usually good. So I also registered for a match at CTM, which will be this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I registered for Guelph in Ontario in 2 weekends.
Weren't you thinking about doing one in Peterborough this weekend?
Yeah, it didn't work out. And you know what?
Yeah.
They ended up going with small squads. I think the total number is like 40 or something, and it filled up super fast. But Jared mentioned in the comments earlier, we got to get you to the RA Center match. So we're gonna work on that.
Okay.
And then, as Kyle mentioned, I packaged up the M2 to get it shipped by Canada Post, and it was the first time I've ever shipped a firearm. So I read the website, I followed their rules like to the T, because I'm like, I'm not gonna have this thing like held up anywhere, especially leaving Quebec too, right? Bolt removed. I put a trigger lock on it, which I don't really think is super necessary, but I just did it anyways. I wrapped it in the brown like shipping paper stuff, right?
Yeah.
I went to the point of even making sure that nothing inside rattles. I stuffed everything so that like nothing inside the box like rattles around and stuff. So I went way overboard, but like I'm pretty excited to see what he comes up with. So
awesome.
Well, it sounds a lot better than my brother sent me a rifle one time, and that was bad. It was locked up. Well, he put it in a soft gun case.
Okay.
Put a padlock on it, and then like cellophane just saran wrapped it. And
no covering on the case.
No.
Oh.
It wasn't through Canada Post. It wasn't through Canada Post, but still, I go to pick it up. Really?
Yeah.
Like I said, I went over the top, and I mean, it's pretty obvious. There's probably a rifle or shotgun in there based on the size of the box, but I still
hope when they deliver it, they don't leave it on your doorstep like they did with my last rifle.
No,
they don't deliver anything to my doorstep.
Okay. Then
no, I had to do like the check age of like a 19 or 19, and signature and stuff. So I did the whole thing. Like I said, I didn't want it rejected for any reason.
Yeah.
So
well, hopefully it'll get there, because I know how getting you stuff is a little bit of a challenge with Canada Post. So hopefully,
because I never even mentioned it besides the calendar, which I'm sure everybody knows about by now how long it took to get. I had just before Christmas, I got the Wrangler, right?
Yeah.
So I could be in the cool kids club.
Yeah.
And then I also got the Tanfolio around the same time.
Yeah.
Well, the registration didn't so the Wrangler came, I don't know, it was a week and a half later.
Yeah.
And the Tanfolio one never showed up. And I'm like, okay, this doesn't seem right. And I called in, and they said, well, we'll send you a reprint. And then sure enough, that came a few days, like 4 or 5 days later. But the first one it went to the same home where that they have my calendar. So now they also have a reg certificate there as well. So I don't know what's going on, but
okay.
And how about you, Kelly?
So I haven't been on for a couple of weeks, but you know what I have been doing? I told you about my new pastime, right?
Ice fishing.
Yeah. So I've been going.
You're really into it, eh?
Yeah. So totally. I went into SFRC, not for guns or ammo this time. You know why I went into SFRC? Because it also has tackle and lures, and it's a fishing star, and it has minnows and everything too. So I went to the fishing part, bought a new rod and reel. One of the reasons is because, not last week before, I went out and so nothing was really hitting. Nobody was getting anything. We were fishing where there was pike. But I got hit by a pike. My lure got hit by a pike. He also stole the lure and took off with it, broke my line, everything. So I was not happy. So the next week I went out to SFRC, picked up a higher test line and another rod and reel, because you have to have two, obviously, and fish at the same time. And then I bought another lure that was similar to the one that he hit on, or the pike hit on. I don't know if she's male or female, whatever. To see if it would work again. And again, there wasn't much activity at all. We did see one pike, and it hit, and I set the hook and I brought him out. So I was the only one that caught a fish. Again, it was a pike. So we threw it back in after a little bit, took a picture with it. But it's so calming going out, drilling a couple of holes, having sandwiches and all that. So it's my new favorite thing ever. So I'm buying lots of gear. So it's been a little expensive, but not that bad. Anyways, so yeah, I really love it. Haven't got out shooting. I've been doing more fishing. Anyways, the next thing that we're doing is so I did go last Sunday and did a club level ATT course. So basically, we do have those ATT courses still. It's just our executive decided that they wanted to continue it, so there's no liability with them if anybody does anything. So, which I think is actually a good idea. Anyway, so I helped with that, and they're actually looking at asking me to deliver it to the next group that's coming as well. So, which I said, okay. Making an arrangement to go to the club this weekend for some more probation shoots for the newcomers. And yeah.
I saw they were doing a black badge course. Are you involved in that?
No, the other Kelly is. So Ari and Kelly usually put those on. So wondering if Kyle's doing that too. So I'll have to look into that. Let you guys know. So if they're doing it, come and take it. It'd be awesome if you did. If you're interested in Southeastern Ontario. The other thing I was doing is we did do another episode of She Shoots, the podcast with QSIF Women's Committee. Just let you know that there's another one that's going to be coming out on March 8th, which is International Women's Day. Not only that, we're going to announce a contest as well, and you can go out shooting. So it's awesome. Tune in for that. So that's about it.
Cool.
That's me. Let's get into. Let's get into upcoming events. Upcoming events is sponsored by Telos Alpha. It's Canada's digital agency that works exclusively with firearms retailer, vertical. They help with business processes, strategic planning, websites, e-commerce, and battling the stigma the industry carries with banks, merchant processors, and social media. You can check them out at telosalpha.com. So I know that we've actually covered these quite a bit, but maybe one last time. The Lunatic tactical shotgun. When you talk about that a little bit, Kyle? Any more updates on it?
Not yet. No.
Okay.
Soon, hopefully soon. No, it's end of August 26th, 28th. Dynamic action style shotgun, IPSC style, and yeah, there's details on there. We've been talking about quite a bit.
Yeah.
Go on Practice Score, register. If you have any questions, feel free, reach out. I'll answer any question, whatever. And that's basically it.
Okay. Mo, why don't you talk about the next two events that are happening in the March 5th?
Sure.
Cover those?
There's the two-gun Winter Brutality and Night Shoot at Quesnel, BC, March 5th. Details on Practice Score. And then there's the full auto 4-stage pistol match at Colby Shooting Club in Waterloo, Ontario. Register on Practice Score as well. It's March 5th.
Awesome. What about full auto?
I said that one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
You rolled right into full auto.
You rolled right
into
it.
I just rolled. It was so seamless. Like
I know.
You would think I've been doing this for years.
You have been. Anyways. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's get into the news. Who put this in? Because who just saw this? This is brand new.
I saw it earlier today, and we were talking earlier. I forgot about it. But
okay. So TACCOM.
That's good news.
2022. Yeah. So you saw it on Instagram.
Yeah.
I haven't even seen this. When's it happening? Give us
they don't have details right now.
Aww.
So I pulled it up. Finally, TACCOM will be back in 2022. All tickets purchased in 2020 will be honored and will be given admission to 2022 show. More details will be released in the coming weeks. So stay tuned.
Dates.
No dates yet.
Oh, I'm hoping that it's going to be April. And not September. Okay.
I'm thinking fall if they're just starting to announce it now, but
yeah, I don't know. Okay. All right, let's see if we can dig up some dirt on that, because that's exciting that they're going to be doing that. I think with SHOT Show happening this year, there was some positive movement with things around the country as well, with more shows opening up and that too. So
well, and provinces dropping mandates and everything too.
I know. Yeah, imagine if the federal government would just get there. Never mind. I'm going to go on to the CCFR legal bailing. Hey, it's a good segue.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
The CCFR legal fund donations. So right now it's more important than ever to help support the CCFR with their upcoming court battle. Do you know that May 1st is not that far away?
It is not.
Yeah.
No.
So just to let you know. So why don't you stop by the CCFR, become a member? You can also donate to the legal challenge by sending an EMT to finance at firearmsrights.ca. You can also just go on over and stop by the website. I think that they have some stuff like swag and different things that you can buy that'll also help as well. So go and do that, because right now they're fighting for us to keep our firearms. So go and help them. Help us. New sponsor, Bolt Action Coffee. Did you guys know that Slimfire Radio is the brand ambassador for Bolt Action Coffee?
I may have heard.
Yeah. You may drink the coffee as well.
It's ringing a bell.
Yeah. So the coffee is quite incredible. If you ask Mo, he'll vouch for that as well.
I endorse it.
Yeah, it's roasted in small batches, and you can get it in your own little hands too. Send it to yourself by going to boltactioncoffee.com. Use the discount code SLAMFIRE, capital letters, all one word, and they'll give you a discount on it as well. All right. Oh, look at this. We got some stuff in the new gun stuff. So
that was last week.
That was last week.
You know what happens when Adriel's not on the show?
We all forget to look and update new gun stuff.
Yes.
Adriel, come back.
Anyways, we miss him. Okay, let's get into the listener feed. Oh, you know what? Why don't we actually get into the main topic? Hey, everybody. We would like to welcome to the show tonight our main topic guest, Allan Harding. Hi, Allan. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for coming on. Now, I've met Allan. Well, we were friends on Facebook for quite a while, but I met him about a year and a half ago. Was it a year and a half ago at the Integrity March?
That's right. Yes, it was. Yeah, in Ottawa.
I can't believe it's been a year and a half. Anyways, so I was talking to Allan, and I said, we need to have you on the show. And the reason that we need to have Allan on the show is because he's one of our best shooters here in Canada. He's been out on the international stage as well. So I thought it'd be great to have him on to talk about sport shooting here in Canada. So a little bit about background about Allan himself. He's on the board of directors for the Shooting Federation de Tir Canada. He's also on the board of directors for BC Target Sports, national champion for the 10-meter air pistol. He has competed on an international stage in the 10, 25, 50 meter air pistol, also in the mixed teams as well. So he's gone to the CAT Games, the ISSF World Cup, ISSF World Championships, and also in the Pan Am Games. So wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, and the Commonwealth Games there too. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one correction there, the 25 and the 50 meter event, that's with the 22 pistol.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So so you represent Canada quite well. So thank you for doing that, by the way. But I did want to ask you a little bit about, so why don't we actually get right into it? Tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your background?
Oh, geez. It's a open question there. Yeah, I mean, it's I have an awesome background. No, so I guess so. Let me start on the shooting side, and kind of go from there. Yeah, I think I started. What was it? Probably 1990 or something. I mean, I was a kid basically, and my brother got me into it. I had no interest at all in shooting, going to the range, or anything like that. And he's like, "You're gonna like it. You gotta come check this out." And finally, just to have him, it's my younger brother, just to shut him up. I was like, "Okay, I'll go one time." And yeah, I loved it right away. I fired a rifle, and I was just 22, just in prone position there, and I was hooked. And then I think within a couple weeks, the coach there, he was doing competitive pistol shooting, and wanted to see what I could do with a pistol, and did that. And within, I think, a year or so, I was competing and winning as a junior in the province of BC here. And I think I did that for about 5 years. Won the nationals in '94 as a junior. And in '95 did the Western Canada Games, won that. And then I kind of had to figure out what I was going to be doing with just my life. Shooting wasn't going to pay the bills. I mean, at the time I was working a summer job basically to pay for it, to go to nationals, and made it pretty difficult. I mean, you can't kind of have a career out of that. So I ended up trying to figure out my life for a little while, and it was I put shooting on hold, and always meant to go back to it, and it was 12 years before I actually got back, and it was 2007, and was just going to do it as a hobby when I first got back into it. Just like, okay, I'm probably not going to be as good as I was before, and turns out I was better, and so that was kind of fun. And then I just really kind of thought, well, how far can I go with this? And 5 years later, I was on the team there in 2012, just traveling around, and went to Europe for the first time in my life, competing, representing Canada, and that was pretty wild. Did 2 back-to-back World Cups there, and it was a really cool experience. And after that, I mean, I basically just wanted to see, well, how much further can I go? And the Olympics is the goal, but that's a tough one.
Yeah. And why don't we talk about that just a little bit? I want to talk about the pistols and everything like that, but I also want to talk about the past couple of years. They've been wild and crazy, and I know that the shooting sports specifically within the Olympics, there's been some challenges with that as well. So let's talk a little bit about the challenges within the shooting sports within the Olympics, and then also how the pandemic has kind of affected Olympic shooting, and maybe even your progress to get there as well. So
it's definitely been tough. Even just just with the ranges being closed, it's like trying to find a place to shoot. Pandemic aside, it's already difficult to try and find a place to shoot sometimes, right? Especially for ISSF style events. There's really only a handful of proper ranges in Canada that I would say are like at a level that you could train and compete to be at an international level. And there's none around me.
Okay.
So that's a big challenge. I could do the 50-meter pistol event, but that got dropped from the Olympic program for this last Olympics, and so I had to switch back to going for 25-meter and then 10-meter with the air pistol event. Okay. But yeah, it's been tough just with the pandemic. I even had like a junior program that I was running here, and that had to shut down. And it's been a real impact just on, I think, on all sports for sure. It's been difficult, but I know for myself it's been pretty challenging because there's just been no events, and I think things started to open up internationally about a year ago, 2021, and but some would get canceled, and I've been trying to book to travel to go to represent Canada at one of these shooting events internationally, and either it gets canceled or postponed, and then I just end up with travel vouchers and all these different things, and money still goes out, kind of. So it's difficult, and then just kind of heartbreaking too when you're training, getting ready for an event, and it just doesn't happen, and you got to adjust my training plan and change my goals a little bit, and see what the pathway is, because just going to for me doing the figuring out, say, for Paris 2024, I mean that sort of journey starts several years out from there, just in terms of the qualifying for the team, getting just all the qualifications and the quota system that's in place to actually even have Canada shoot at the Olympics. There's a lot of steps that have to happen.
Yeah. So specifically, you have to actually qualify for the Olympics. You have to have so many events. You have to go to international shooting events as well that are at an elite level. And you've been talking about the fact that you haven't been able to go because they're postponed or canceled, or even just to train for them. Where do you train? Before that, what is ISSF for those that don't know?
That's the International Shooting Sport Federation. That's the sort of the main, I guess, international federation for shooting that deals with the Olympic programs.
Yeah. Now there's a few clubs across the country that are ISSF clubs. Where's you said there's nothing that's near you. How far do you have to actually go to train?
So I train in my living room for the air pistol.
So roll it a bit.
Yeah. I literally have the exact electronic target system. So it's I've got so I'm actually shooting like a pellet through my living room, through a hallway actually, and it gets caught in this little electronic target, which kind of uses, I'm not sure if mine uses, I think it's acoustic or something like that, but it triangulates exactly where it is. And then at the shooting bench, 10 meters away, I have a little monitor and I can see exactly where I go, but it's the same system that they use internationally. So I'm fortunate that I have that here, at my house, but it's, outside of that, if I would have to go into the city, like I'm on the Sunshine Coast, so it's like I got to catch a ferry ride just to get to Vancouver. But there is some air ranges that are in Vancouver.
Okay, so you shoot both the air pistol and also 22. Obviously, you said 4 out to, and the 50 unfortunately was it's not part of the. Is it going to be for 2024 or no?
No, no. I think one of the things that they're trying to do is there's been this big push to do sort of gender parity with a lot of the events. So there's a lot more mixed team events, which I think is great. And then there's I can't remember which events that they actually dropped, but rather than adding, say, 50-meter for women, they dropped it for men and then dropped another one, but then added the mixed team events.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And I do know, as I said, that there's been some challenges with the shooting sports. Just even adding them back, they did drop a few, and a couple were added again. So which is good, great win. So do you have an example of your air pistol there?
I do actually.
I should have asked.
Yes, can I actually show it on? I've done these before, and they don't let me actually.
We're not live on YouTube, so we can.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I had it out because I was charging it, which is kind of funny. It's got a USB charging on it because there's an electronic trigger on there. Just one sec. So this is what it looks like. Oops.
Which is amazing.
Yeah. So let me show it this way here. So yeah, and you can see on the front here, there's a little. It shows me exactly how much air pressure there is in the front. There's holes drilled in the top, so when I shoot, some air goes up. Actually, it's just to counter the recoil and everything. Electronic trigger. The USB charging is on here, so I can turn it on. There'll be like a little green light here that goes on, and I can actually dry fire it just like that. I don't know if you can hear the click through here or not. Yeah, and that's perfectly set to camera. I'm just over. I should be a little higher, but it's got to be over 500 grams the trigger weight. Otherwise, it's pretty light, but sometimes it feels like it's pulling a dump truck or something.
So what does it shoot? Like, what specifically does it shoot?
They're one. I don't have any here, but it's 177 pellets, and they're kind of flat on the front.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many feet per second?
It's so in Canada it's supposed to be under 500 feet per second.
Yes.
Well, this one here, this is a Steyr, so it's made in Austria, and if I go to Europe, they crank it back up for me because it's so I can actually compete with everyone. But they're generally under 500 feet per second. I'm supposed to have it cranked back down when I come back, but I think I forgot to do that. Okay. I'm kidding.
Yeah. So you can actually use it. You can use it for just literally what you did. You can dry fire it, no problem.
Yeah.
It can be your training pistol and your competition pistol, basically.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So I do a lot of dry firing. So there's a lot of times where you're just running through the exercise. Even before, if I'm at a World Cup, right before I'm actually going to shoot, I'll spend 15, 20 minutes sometimes just right up against a wall, the little kind of fuzzy dot there. And I just go through just doing visualizing and just doing some dry firing before it's kind of like a warm up just to get you into the mental state, but also just to your shoulder and arm and everything's kind of ready.
Okay. So what's like you were talking about the dry firing, getting it ready, the mental state and all that. So, and you were also talking about ramping up for these competitions. And then unfortunately some of them have been postponed, canceled, etc. So what type of training do you do at home? Like, do you dry fire every day? Do you actually, is there a set routine that you have? Is there, do you do yoga to get your mind in a Zen state? Like, what types of things do you do for training?
there's definitely a lot of meditation that I do, a lot of breathing exercises. So there's that's definitely part of it. I find that for the most part, I generally just shoot,
Okay.
shoot and dry fire. It's I did the math once on how many shots I've taken, and I think it was getting close to 600,000 or something like that. That's
Wow.
pretty ridiculous, but
that's a good number.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and get to 1 million, but yeah.
Oh, you'll be able to do it. You talked about it being the Olympics were trying to do more of a parity between it's the one not the one sport. It's one sport that you can obviously absolutely women and men are very equal in the sport.
Yeah.
So how was it to actually do the mixed so the mixed pairs?
The mixed team event. So they keep changing the format. They're trying to find the right format. And then the ISSF does. I think they do a lot of this for TV purposes. Just how a spectator would actually watch the. Sorry, my monitors are all going ballistic here. So I think they do that generally just to. Sorry, one sec here. They keep changing it, but the one of the current formats that they had. So I was doing the mixed team event with Linda Keiko, and we would basically both shoot at the exact same time, and shoot. Well, again, keeps changing, but say 20 shots or whatever each, and then they take that as the score, and then. In the finals, what they would do, it's a little bit different. You would each have to take a shot within 50 seconds. And was it 50 seconds? I'm not sure what the current rule is now, but you'd both be there. Whoever was on the left would shoot first, and then whoever was on the right would shoot with second. So if you have to kind of, if I was on the right, you kind of have to watch your partner there to see, are they finished? Because sometimes you have to abort and just kind of bring your arm down. So you got to be careful because you can get penalized for shooting out of turn. But it makes it fun just to kind of watch, because you can see it's like, oh, if they're taking up a lot of time, their partner's not going to have much time remaining, so they're going to have to like get that shot off in like 10 15 seconds, which or less or whatever. But it's kind of fun. The advantage with shooting with Linda as a partner. She's left-handed, so we actually face each other, so it's easy to kind of read body language. Yeah, so there's an advantage there, because you can kind of see body language, see what's happening. It's like, did she take the shot? Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah. And she's also amazing. She's an amazing athlete. She really is.
Oh yeah. It's I've got a picture somewhere. I'm gonna have to try and find it. It's of Linda and I. It has to be sometime like probably 91 or 92. We're shooting in Lethbridge, Alberta, I think it is, and we're like, we just look like so young. It's hilarious.
Wow, how long have you known her? She's been in almost all her life.
Yeah, I think that's when I met her. Yeah, it's her and her sister. Would have been early 90s in Alberta.
Wow.
Yeah,
I met her in person this last summer, and I quite frankly, she looks to me like she's like 12. So when you're talking about the early 90s, you guys must have been really young looking. So what? So when we're talking about Canadian elite shooting, what's our community like? So if we compare it to other countries, do you want to talk about how we're funded and all that compared to other countries?
Yeah, it feels like it's our program's getting a lot better. We've got a lot of really great people in place, volunteers, and there's a few paid staff as well with the Shooting Federation. And I mean, our funding compared to say India or South Korea, it's like, I mean, they invest very heavily in shooting sports. India, especially because I think their one gold medal has been in rifle shooting. That was in 2008. I believe, and then after that, they quadrupled down kind of thing, and their budget for shooting, it's really quite high. Like to give you some context, I remember seeing something before the Tokyo Olympics where their shooting team had chartered like some giant plane, and it was just them, just the shooting team on this plane,
Nice.
Traveling to Croatia to train. And this is like 80 days before, and I'm like, are you guys just like there training for like the next while until you go to Tokyo? And I believe that's what they were doing, which is amazing. But
Yeah.
Yeah, in Canada we're a little more self-funded in a lot of ways.
Nice way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah. There's definitely funding. So if you are near the top, and there's definitely some levels of funding that can help out with training and just a lot of the equipment and travel and things. So
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I do know that the pistol that you just showed us, it's not something that's cheap. So do you have to actually purchase that yourself, or are you sponsored, or?
I bought it myself.
Yeah.
They're about with the custom grip and everything. I think it's around 3,000 or so.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
Yeah. It's an expensive hole puncher, but
when you talk about it that way, yeah, it's not that bad. But
and I've never sold any of mine, so I've got all of mine going right back from day one. So I've got quite an assortment of them, and when I actually thought about the price of them, like and how much I paid, I'm like, oh, maybe I should sell one. But the thing is that like I explained to someone, I was like, well, every time you compete somewhere internationally, you get these cool stickers added on there. And so it's like, like on here, there's, what is it here? Munich World Cup. And then there's one from Intershoot in the Netherlands. And
awesome.
So, yeah, it's kind of cool. And someone said, well, why don't you just save the grip?
But it's nice even to display them in the memento of it. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, because there's, I've got... definitely have some cool ones that have some neat places that I've gone to.
Yeah. Do you have other things, like I've seen some of the large bore or small bore shooters that actually have specific vests or jackets, pants, and all that? Do you have anything like that, or?
No, that's all rifle shooters. They have the all those leather outfits and like boots that cover their ankles, so they've got a lot of support. Yeah. Also, the 10 ring for their target at 10 meters is 0.5 millimeter in diameter. So you think about so they're shooting in a standing position, and they're basically literally a pencil dot is what they're trying to hit. And
wow,
I mean they had to actually change the scoring because it got to a point where it's like everyone was shooting like 600. You can't get higher than that. So they went to decimal scoring. So you can actually, even at 0.5 millimeter, the closer you are to the center, I mean, you're just basically covering when you shoot perfectly in the center, it'd be counted as like a 10.9. But you're taking out like 7, 8, 9 or whatever, a bunch of the rings on the actual target.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So, so that's why they have all those funky outfits and everything. But the pistol shooters, we don't have any of that. My 10 ring is about the size of a dime. It's still pretty small at 10 meters. 33 feet. That's pretty small. And you can't have any sort of boots or anything that covers. You can't have extra ankle support, anything like that.
Okay, I was going to ask about that yeah. So whereas the rifle shooters, they have basically equipment that will help reduce movement. You're not able to have that.
No, just myself.
Just yourself in your jeans and your running shoes.
Yeah, and there's it's interesting. There's a lot of extra rules, and they had to be put in place because someone was doing this at some point. So they're like, no, you can't do that. Like taping, you can get. I've been at the end. You get random checks where basically you have to show that you're not all taped up, or someone will literally just put a bunch of tape so that underneath their shirt they're like super stiff. But so you can get
wow,
you can get disqualified for that. And there was another person that had. They put steel plates, I think, in the bottom of their shoes. So my shoes, I don't have them around here, but they're really flat, and there's a slight incline on them, so that I can I'm more balanced when there's a slight incline on there, but they're really flat, kind of like a court shoe, someone had put steel plates in there to just make it even just super solid.
Wow.
And so now there's a machine that actually tests the amount of pressure in newtons or whatever that you have to be able to bend the the sole. So there's a machine that's otherwise your shoes get disqualified. So it's
Wow.
yeah.
So the athletes have to get strip searched before they go in.
Definitely, you definitely have to get your shoes checked though, and well, you don't have to. I mean, there's a lot of things that aren't mandatory, but one of them, the officials can actually pull you off the line at the end there, or and you can get randomly checked, and things like trigger weight, like they'll weigh the trigger, and if you're out, then disqualification.
I guess the skill level's so high that the margins are so slim, right? So any little advantage.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What is the trigger weight limit?
I don't know. I guess it just has to be over 500 grams. So in the 10-meter event.
Okay.
Yeah, and then in 25-meter, the rapid fire event, it's I think it's 1,000 grams. So 1 kilogram. It has to have at least that kind of.
Okay.
But I think you can have it as heavy as you want, but there's no advantage to that, I don't think.
I wouldn't think so, no.
No.
What about so if somebody's actually interested in starting, like you said that when you first started, you learned you were pretty good, and then you quickly accelerated. So if you have recommendations for anybody who's just taking up shooting and they want to take it to the next level, what kind of things should they be doing or looking at?
So the whatever provincial organization is doing the Olympics, sort of like in BC, we have BC Target Sports. We've got a lot of resources online there for either coaching or training. And then the Shooting Federation of Canada website as well has a lot of resources for people. It's interesting when I coach young kids, like there's so much knowledge and different things I can tell them right away. Like I can see them start to shoot, and there's about, I could spend an hour telling them exactly what they're doing wrong, what they need to change, and what they can improve on. And that's just going to be so overwhelming. So you really just have to do very minimal things to just kind of pick apart, because someone has to take a certain number of shots and kind of go through that process of learning. It's just like, oh, I get it. If I do this, then this happens and my shoulder drops or whatever, but I can't tell that person. So they really need to just take those shots and just kind of slowly figure that out. So, I mean, to me, at the end of the day, all I have to do, this is how I've kind of just reduced shooting. It's all I have to do is just keep the sights aligned and look at the front sight when I shoot. That's it. I know.
It's easy.
Is the weekend? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry. I was just saying that there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, which is just kind of those fundamentals are just instilled now. After 500,000 plus shots, it's just like, oh yeah, there's all these things that I do, which I just end up just doing them naturally.
I was just going to ask the weak hand in the pocket. Is that a form that everybody uses?
You don't have to. I do that just for balance. It's like, you might as well do something with your non-shooting arm, and it's more just to I do it for stability. It's having my arm, my non-shooting arm, just kind of loose. I can't have a consistent position if it's just kind of floating around. But if I know, I know the exact feeling of where my hand is going to, feel on my hand, like the pocket is going to feel on my hand, and it's just natural. It's just I just go there because that's exactly how I shoot every single time.
Right. So you set it up. We see elite shooters who the exact same thing. What they say is they have this pattern that they have, and everything it's consistent. It's muscle memory, but everything is consistent and layered, and it feels so you're going to take your perfect shot or the best shot that you can. It's because you have everything, that whole one shot, there's several layers to it, and everything is consistent.
Yeah, and really that one shot is the whole match in a lot of ways, right? Like you don't worry about what happened before or what's going to happen on the next one. It's just that single shot is your match, right? And if you do that, and in my events, you like the 10-meter event, it's in the individual, it's 60 shots that I take. I think it's within, what is it now, 50 minutes now? Or sorry, I don't know. I really have to double check the rules. It's been a couple of years now, but things kept changing. But you don't have, I mean, I end up shooting fast, so I never really worry too much about the time. As a junior, I would use up the entire clock and be like down to the last few seconds, and it's just like, why do I do that to myself? Now I just try and be in a good pace and take a shot, between 30 and 50 seconds, and then just keep going.
Okay. So one of the things that with anybody that I coach or instruct, I tell them to take one thing and practice it until it's perfect or perfect practice, and then take the next thing and that. It sounds kind of like what you were talking about too a little bit ago about you can give them all kinds of coaching and everything, but they have to actually shoot. But but taking that one piece and practicing it and putting, $500,000 downrange with,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. One of the things that drew me to the air pistol event is the equipment is it's I'd say it's almost perfect, right? Like I can put that in a vise and it'll shoot almost through the same hole all day long. And for me, when I'm shooting competitively and I'm in a competition, I know that if the equipment is perfect, if I don't shoot a 10, I did something wrong. And so it's really just comes down to just trying to figure out what's that error I made, how do I fix that, and kind of just continue to just improve until you don't have errors. And no one's ever gotten a perfect score in the 10-meter event. I think the world record right now is at 594. So they basically had 6 9s, and the rest were all 10s. Yeah.
Wow. Well, something to shoot for. No pun intended, obviously.
Yeah.
You meant it.
What? Yeah, I did actually. So you're somebody who is a business owner. You're working hard. You were talking about our athletes and how they're pretty much self-funded. There are some things out there for sponsorship and that as well, but so what can we do as Canadians to help fund our athletes that are going to the international events?
There's a few athletes that do like GoFundMe type campaigns and things like that. The Shooting Federation has a donation option too, so that's a tax-free thing, and it doesn't target any specific athlete. There are ways that you can do that through. I can't remember the name of it right now. But there are some of the shooting athletes are listed on there, and you can. I'm sure if you found did just a shooting sport donation, Team Canada thing, there'd be some of the athletes would show up there. And so there are ways, and that's there's tax-free type things that can be done as well.
Okay, so Shooting Federation. If you go and look on, I follow them on Facebook and have searched out their website and not. You're actually part of it. You're on the board, correct?
Yes. Yeah, awesome. I've been on the board for a while. I also, I do a lot of the actually helped out with the website and do a lot of the technical stuff there. And we've got a separate portal for the high performance team as well that I help manage and work on as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I've seen that as well. So any announcements, by the way, you're great with sharing information, any changes to sport shooting throughout the world as well that you list there too. So thank you for doing that because you keep me up to date. But if people are interested, go to the Facebook for Shooting Federation de Tir Canada or to the website as well. And you can, or even on Instagrams as well. What's next for you? I know that you have had some recent events that you weren't able to go to, but what are you planning to do? What's next?
Yeah, so there's a World Cup actually. It's happening pretty much now, I think, and or in the next couple of days in Cairo in Egypt. And I was going to go to that one, and they changed. Leading up to Paris 2024, they changed how you can qualify for the Olympics. So there's still the existing quota system where you have to win a spot for Canada to even compete in that sport, in the event. And so those usually happen, leading up. So like the Pan Am Games, the Championships of the Americas, these are all events we've traditionally won quota spots at to go to the Olympics. But they also introduced this new qualification where the top athletes, if you don't have to, you get to go. Like the ISSF will kind of give you as an individual the quota spot, not just the country. So I think that they're doing that partly to help kind of build up the awareness around some of the names of the top people. So it's not like you get these people that go, they win a spot for their country, and then however they figure out who gets to go kind of domestically within their own country, that person might not even be there, right? And you get that happening quite a bit. And so then you get all these, like, not random people, but you get different people then who were at the top of the world rankings. So now the new system, if you're at the top of that, you'd be the one that would end up also going to the Olympics, regardless of how your country did in terms of getting the quota spot.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty complicated.
Yeah.
It sounds
yeah.
Right. When I actually think about like shooting at the Olympics, I started realizing like it's actually probably easier to shoot like than the actual, like, because it's all your friends, it's all peers, people that you know, and it's a smaller field than say at a World Cup or a World Championships. That's just one event specific to shooting.
Right.
Like at a World Championship, the field's going to be probably 150 people. But at the Olympics, you're against maybe, I don't know, 30, less than. So it's I mean, obviously they're all really good shooters, but it's the odds of winning a gold are different.
Yeah. So, what can we do to help you? Is there anything that we can help you to achieve your goal of getting to the Olympics?
Yeah, lots.
Okay.
Actually, I never finished. I was talking about Cairo, and so there are a couple other World Cups. Coming up. So there's one in Brazil in April, and it's right. So the whole schedule is being in flux. Like it's just constantly being changed. Like, oh, they've got an event over here now. Nope, they're not doing that one. Now it got pushed up to October. So you have to really be watching the calendar. And so they added Brazil, so Rio de Janeiro. It's where they hosted the was it 2016 Olympics, and so that range is really nice. So they'll host a World Cup there in April, and fortunately, it's right around the same time as our national team training camp in Saskatchewan in April there. So I don't know if I can do both of them, but I'm going to see what the schedule is like, because if my event was later in the schedule, then I might be able to actually get down there in time to compete. But
that'd be cool.
If that doesn't work, then there's a World Cup in South Korea that I'd like to go to in July. So that would be my next sort of international competition. Which it's crazy to think that the last one that I was at was February 2020 in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
just before things were closing down.
Yeah. What about so what does it take to qualify? Placing, is it on an international stage? Can you qualify within the country you're shooting from, or I don't know what the criteria is. Is it just one match, several matches that you have to place on a certain level?
Several matches, and then there's different sort of tiers within the country that that you can. So there's the full national team. That's like the sort of the top team, and then there's a development team, and they only have this year for 2023, I guess it is. So we're kind of qualifying now for the 2023 team. You have to reach a certain level of score. So it's whatever the percentile is of say the top. I can't remember the exact number, but it's like whatever the top 50% internationally is, they take that score, average it out. And so within Canada, we have to at least shoot above that, multiple times. And then, and then you got to beat your peers as well, because there's only so many spots on the team there.
Yeah.
And then when you do that,
I was going to say that must be tough when you beat out a friend.
Well, I mean, yes and no. There's still the competitive side there, right? Yeah. And it's and I've been on both sides of that. So you gotta, I won a quota spot for the last Pan Am Games in Peru for Canada, and I didn't get to go, right? So when we did the match to see who would go, I just had, a bit of an off day, and someone else beat me, and I'm like, that was my spot, It's like, but it's like I'm still happy that one of my friends got to go. Oh, even that we had a spot to even go, right? So that's
that's true.
we might not have even had that spot there.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously you still want to win.
Yeah. So there is a few matches that you're looking to go to. One in April, one in August. You said, is it August? Yeah.
July, and then nationals will be in August in Cookstown, Ontario. There.
Okay.
That's at the Pan Am Legacy range that we have there.
Okay. And then when do you find out about the Olympics?
That would be like months before. Like it's really it's like that's that close. Like you leading up to it, you'll like within Canada the high performance like the VP and like the people that run the program, they'll have a short list of people that would go, and then there's but really it comes down to us doing the events leading up to it that can actually get us a quota spot to go to the Olympics.
Okay.
So the Championships of the Americas and the Pan Am Games, those are our best shots, because it's only North, Central, and South America. We don't have to deal with all the other people that are really good.
Yep.
So yeah, we do well there, and we usually will send like a pretty big team, as many as we can, and just hope that our teammates can do it.
Yeah. Okay. So, again, how can we help you achieve your goal? Is there anything that we can do? Where can we find you as well?
I'm all over the place. I think I'm probably one of the most active on Twitter there, but I do tweet a lot about Tesla and Cybertrucks and different things.
You do.
I love that stuff. Definitely a techie. As you can see with all of the screens back there, but yeah. I think for me it's just everything that you all do, and it's all awesome, right? Like just bringing awareness to shooting. A lot of people don't even realize that it's an Olympic event, or they'll question like, why is it an Olympic event? It shouldn't be.
Exactly.
That doesn't make any sense. I'm like, well, it's been in the Olympics since 1896. Like literally, like this, the very first modern Olympics. It's like shooting was there. Like, and I think those first few Olympics, I think at one point they made up like close to a third of the sports. Like it was like some crazy number where it's like, what?
It has history, that's for sure.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and it's I mean, I try and do that just locally, and just my work with the SFC and BC Target Sports, but just trying to help boost the spotlight on the sport, and just see what we can do, right? And just trying to get more younger people involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good.
And
it's definitely been tough the last while, like with not being able to do that.
Yeah. And thank you for putting together that youth shooting training program as well. That's actually what's those are our next group of Olympians, obviously.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why when I moved back to back to my hometown here, I knew that I came through that program, and I remember talking to the local club, and there was nothing happening, like nothing, no junior program. And I asked if I could do something, and then realized they got all these club rifles, there's all these, they had everything there. They just needed someone to actually, help push it along. And I mean, I want to see someone come up through there that I can train and pass on the knowledge that I have, so that they see how far they can go. I mean, I'd love to see someone go further.
Yeah, that's actually a good coach.
Yep.
They want their students to surpass them.
And
Mo,
and they should.
Yeah. Mo, do you got anything for Allan before we let him go?
Just thanks for coming on. I know locally we have our own juniors program, probably maybe not quite where you're at, but I know we got probably shot against or with a couple of the shooters at our club here, but I know it's a good program, and like to see it go further, like you said, and grow.
Yep.
Yeah, nice. One of the things that I usually try and do. I did this last. I think it was Nationals in 2019 was the last Nationals we had, but it's usually out in Ontario. And what I've done is taken a few extra days and visited some local clubs, and just just shot with people, and that's always fun too. So I don't know. I'll throw an invite out there. It's like when I'm out, anywhere in Canada, I'll hit up any local clubs there.
All right, when you come down for nationals, let me know. I'll be around. I'm here.
Sounds good.
Ontario.
Awesome. Perfect.
Okay. Is there anything that you want to add that we didn't cover, or is there anything you want to leave our listeners with?
I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, just if you want to know more about the shooting sports in terms of the Olympic programs, check out the Shooting Federation of Canada, and there's links to all the provincial ones, like the provincial sports orgs from there, and yeah.
Awesome.
We do have one question on the chat here.
Oh, there you go.
Jason was asking, are you shooting out of peep sights, like aperture sight, or are they open sight?
So I can actually probably show you exactly. Just get myself out of the way here, but it's just
okay.
Yeah. Very, very simple. I'm trying to line it up, right? Just it's hard shooting backwards.
Post and notch. Yeah,
exactly. And then, of course, the camera mirrors it, so it's all.
Reversed. You don't normally hold it that way, right? So
never a good idea to hold it that way.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you again for coming on tonight. It's super interesting to talk to you, not only about the Olympics, but about you, and also your pistols as well. It's great to see them. So that's awesome. Thanks for coming on.
Great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks.
All right. We're going to move forward with the rest of the show. If you want to hang out, you're welcome. Okay, never mind.
On with the show.
He is amazing, by the way.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
he is right. He is super techy, and
I'm jealous of his monitor setup.
Guy.
Oh, is that? Yeah, that's what you got out of it, right?
You should actually chat with him afterwards, because anyways, and he does manage the website for the shooting sports as well. So
awesome.
Once again, Allan, thanks for coming on and talking to us about the sport shooting in Canada. Good luck. I hope you get to the games too. So, and quite frankly, he's one of my favorite people ever. He's really interesting.
Yeah, he was pretty cool. Yeah.
Okay.
We're rooting for him.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Listener feedback. Listener feedback is sponsored by REDC Gunsmith. It's a full service gunsmith who specializes in firearms refinishing. He offers hot bluing, parkerizing, Cerakote finishes, as well as wood refinishing. Check out his online inventory of new and used guns, firearms, accessories, optics, and more at dcgunsmith.ca. You can also check him out on Instagram and the Facebook. All righty. Who wants to read this one?
I can.
Okay, go ahead.
Howdy, Slamfire. It's your boy Scrads again. Last time I wrote in, I asked about which style of competitions I could potentially run at my range. The one that stood out was precision rimfire like ORPS.
Yeah.
I went and signed myself up for my first competition, an NRL 22 match in Chilliwack. Shout out to Josh from MDT for hosting an awesome match. It was tons of fun and pretty insightful on how I could run something like that on my own range and adapt some courses of fire that would have logistically been hard to pull off otherwise. That would have been. Yeah. However, now that I've been looking at more matches, I've realized there's monthly ORPS matches, literally a 45-minute drive away from my range. Oof. Should I still try and host ORPS at my range, or would it be not worth it? Rude considering they happen pretty often at the range one city over. Thanks for your time, Scrads.
You know, I think that ORPS is basically it's per range. If you want to do it, go ahead. It gets more people into shooting. It's super cheap to get into as well. If it was something a little bit more expensive, I'd say, you know what, if somebody else has already set it up, go and do it at the other range. But it's the steel is pretty cheap. And and some people who can't make that 45-minute drive or are not willing to make that 45-minute drive, maybe, and they want to go to your own range, it'd actually be. And you'd also get some experience with hosting a match too, because ORPS, they put everything there for you and help you out with it too. So that's, you know, that's my recommendation. What would you guys say?
I would say absolutely do it, especially remembering Scrads is limited on what he can do at the range.
Yeah.
Go ahead, do it. And if the other range is monthly, maybe put an off week and then host your match. Then there's an off week and then their match. And people who want to shoot lots can drive within 45 minutes every 2 weeks. Absolutely put it on. I mean, if you can, don't stop going to the other range because you're hosting your own. Like,
correct.
Make it a community thing, like that you have more matches going on, more opportunity for shooters.
Yeah, that's an awesome idea.
No.
Offset it. Okay. All right. Mo, what about this one? Mike.
Yes. From Mike. Hello there. Love the show. Listen often. I know you guys have the answer to this question. I was hoping to try IPSC here in Ontario, but I have a tight budget. My wife owns a pistol, Glock 17, and I was wondering if the laws would allow me to use these for matches. Thank you. Regards, Mike. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah. Glock 17 is pretty common, for.
Yeah. So I think if he's talking about specific laws, it used to be that you would, who's your wife going with you and she's shooting the match too. You guys can share. Yeah.
I'm confident you can actually, if he holds an RPAL, he can borrow her pistol.
It used to be if in the same household you could borrow it and not have to request an ATT, but you can't do that now. You have to actually request an ATT the registration number is not registered to your as you. You actually have to do a and this is relatively new, so you have to request an ATT for it. So you know what? Just bring her to the range and have her shoot it too.
Yeah.
It'll be so much easier. Yeah. Or if you're looking for a budget, go on to Gunnuts or something like that and purchase your own pistol. A used one, you can get a used Glock 17.
Oh, there's got to be plenty. Yeah, there's got to be.
Oh, yeah, there's
but you know what? I'd say to you use the Glock 17, your wife's, because it's free. Or go on and get even a CZ Shadow, because you're going to get there eventually anyways. So just get a used one on Gunnuts. Shadow 1. Cheap. You can get the pistol, or you can get the magazines as well as the belts and everything too, usually. So people upgrade. Check it out. Any thoughts on that? No? Okay.
No, right. And even if it's going for an ATT, I know maybe it's different in Ontario, but Alberta, it's a phone call, and if you're an IPSC member, then it's a phone call and you're done.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
She should go to the matches too.
Yeah,
I would absolutely encourage that.
I love when I see the couples there shooting together and stuff. I think it's awesome. So
me too.
Yeah. Even Jason Sterling is saying SDVE 9 budget.
Yeah. He did say budget. Anyways.
He did, yeah.
Yeah. All right. If you want to send an email to us, send it to slamfireradio@gmail.com. You can help us out here at the show. You can become a Patreon if you do. Go on to patreon.com, search out Slamfire Radio. It helps us put out this content. And if you are a Patreon, we will send you out some patches in the mail. That should, if you have already done that, by the way, and you haven't received them, send us an email with your address. Adriel will get that out as soon as he's actually finished moving. So, yeah. And I'm packing. So, what he's doing tonight. All right.
Building his gun room and
yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that when I get there in August. Too. All right. Shoutouts. Mo?
Nothing for me this evening.
Okay. Colin? All right, sorry, Kyle.
I'd like to shout out Colin.
Welcome to the show, Colin.
Yeah. He's the buddy who sent me the Gersan to work on, so shout out to him for letting me play with it after doing the load port and seeing just if it was viable, and
awesome.
Let me use it for a bit. So
okay. I want to give a shout out to Allan for coming on tonight. Again, one of my favorite people. He's really interesting. I just find him super interesting. Go and check out BC Target Sports and go and Shooting Federation Canada and go and like everybody. And also a personal favor, go and support them as well, because they're actually funding our athletes getting to all the events that he's talking about. Again, a lot of it is self-funded. So, all right. That's about it. So go and check us out on Gunners Canada. We have a stream there. You can or thread there. You can comment on our posts. There's been some stuff on there. People have been commenting, especially on the show we did recently on the price of ammo. Yeah. Anyways, give us a like on Facebook. We're at 2,954. Like seriously, we only have 46 more likes before we get to 3,000. If we get to 3,000, we are going to give stuff away. So here's the deal. Like us, share, and if you are listening right now and you haven't liked us, I know there's a few of you, go and like us. Give us a review on Facebook. Go join the CCFR, support them as well, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Hey, see you
next week. Good night, Adriel.